At the beginning of the story, we meet Aryung, the daughter of Lim, the boss of Hong Kong's powerful Black Dragon gang. She's attending one of her father's high-profile gatherings when members of a rival gang try to humiliate Lim by publicly insulting Aryung. She responds by showing off her skills, performing a graceful dance before impressing the guests with an incredible sword demonstration. Then, one of the rival members deliberately smashes a wine glass and scatters the broken pieces across the floor. As Aryung continues dancing, the shards cut into her feet and blood begins running down her legs. Even through the pain, she refuses to stop. The crowd mistakes her strength for weakness and keeps laughing anyway. The guests watch her stumble and burst into laughter, mocking her in front of everyone. Their insults only fuel her anger. To get even, Aryung drives her sword straight through the hand of the man who threw the broken glass onto the floor. The attack immediately sparks tension, and the rival gang members step forward, ready to fight her. One reckless move is all it takes to push everyone toward violence. Before things spiral out of control, Lim steps in and orders everyone to stand down, settling the confrontation on the spot. But Aryung isn't willing to let the insult go. The very next day, she tracks down the rival gang leader whose man publicly humiliated her. She eventually finds him sitting inside a barber shop, walks right up to him, and slashes his throat, killing him on the spot. For Aryung, revenge isn't delayed. It's simply finished the next day. The scene then shifts to the rival gang leader's funeral, where one of the gang's highest-ranking members swears to kill Aryung and avenge his boss's death. To keep his daughter safe, Lim decides to send her to his trusted friend, Big Boss. Big Boss is the most powerful gangster in Korea, so Lim believes Aryung will be safe under his protection. On the other side, Big Boss assigns a man named Ki Chul to look after her. We soon learn that Ki Chul is the lowest-ranking member of Big Boss's gang, but he's chosen because everyone believes he can speak Chinese. The truth, however, is that Ki Chul doesn't know a single word of Chinese. One wrong assumption quietly puts the entire assignment at risk. The next day, Ki Chul and two of his partners head to the airport to pick Aryung up. All three of them think they're meeting a man, but they quickly realize Aryung is actually a beautiful young woman. From the way she carries herself and speaks, they immediately figure out she's extremely strict and quick-tempered. Since none of them can speak her language, and Aryung doesn't understand Korean either, neither side is able to communicate. The language barrier makes even the simplest conversations frustrating for everyone. Sometimes, silence creates far more trouble than words ever could. Without a common language, every interaction becomes awkward and confusing. Before they've even had a chance to know each other, they're already struggling just to understand one another. Not every dangerous situation begins with violence. Some begin with silence. After that, Aryung goes to meet Big Boss, who gives her a warm welcome and tells her she should never feel alone while she's there. He also explains that while she's in Korea, Ki Chul and his men answer to her and will take care of her the entire time. A little later, Ki Chul and his crew bring Aryung to her house. Hoping to impress her, they start showing off their fighting skills. We soon realize Ki Chul can't actually fight at all. He's only pretending by roughing up his own partners to make himself look tough. The performance falls apart the moment someone truly knows how to fight. Annoyed by the act, Aryung suddenly strikes one of Ki Chul's partners, making everyone realize she's far from an ordinary woman. She's a skilled fighter. Around the same time, a young woman named Yeon-hee arrives. She's a translator who has been brought in so she can translate conversations between Aryung and the gang members. Yeon-hee is inexperienced and intimidated by gangsters, so instead of translating Aryung's harsh comments exactly as she says them, she softens her words. She changes the words, hoping she can prevent another conflict. The truth is, Yeon-hee doesn't want the gangsters turning on each other, so she keeps making everyone's words sound friendlier than they really are. Sometimes the safest translation is the one that hides the truth. Aryung then asks Ki Chul if he can help her find her mother. The last time her mother was ever seen was in Korea, so Aryung believes she's still somewhere in the country. The next day, two of Ki Chul's partners are confronted by members of another gang who start giving them a hard time. Luckily for them, Aryung is standing nearby. Seeing what's happening, she steps in without hesitation, kicks a small table into the attackers, and knocks them off their feet. One quick move completely changes the direction of the entire fight. Seeing the opportunity, Ki Chul's partners jump in and beat the gang members one by one. The attackers take a serious beating before finally running away. Later that evening, Aryung, Yeon-hee, and her caretakers head out for dinner, where Ki Chul drinks far too much. He heads to the restroom with one of his partners, but while they're gone, the rival gang suddenly shows up. They kick Ki Chul's remaining partner to the ground before turning their attention to Aryung and Yeon-hee. The quiet dinner instantly turns into another deadly confrontation. That immediately pushes Aryung over the edge, and she gets ready to fight back. She attacks by throwing chopsticks at them, then drives the gang members backward with a series series of powerful kicks. She never waits for danger to strike first. She becomes the danger. After that, Ki-chul's other partner rushes into the restroom and starts telling him about Aryung's incredible fighting skills. But Ki-chul doesn't believe a word of it because he thinks there's no way a woman could take on a group of dangerous gangsters by herself. Meanwhile, the men Aryung defeated report everything to their gang leader, who immediately orders everyone to make Ki-chul's crew their top target. The next day, after digging into Ki-chul's background, the rival gang invites both him and Aryung to their headquarters. They decide to go. What looks like an invitation is really a carefully planned trap. As soon as they walk inside, Ki-chul is shocked to find his two partners already there, badly beaten and covered in injuries. The gang members had brutally attacked them, and seeing them in that condition fills Ki-chul with anger. He charges straight toward the rival gang leader, determined to kill him. But since Ki-chul doesn't actually know how to fight, he can't even land a single hit. The leader throws one punch to his face, sending him crashing to the floor. The fight is already over before Ki-chul ever gets a chance. Aryung immediately steps in to help him. She picks up a peanut and flicks it straight into the leader's face, throwing him off balance for a split second. Ki-chul takes advantage of the opening and lands a punch square on the leader's face, knocking him flat onto the ground. Moments later, the rival gang surrounds Ki-chul from every direction and starts beating him without mercy. One lucky opening quickly turns into another desperate fight for survival. Even after taking a brutal beating, Ki-chul keeps shielding Aryung, determined to carry out his duty and protect her. But before long, Aryung pulls him out of the way and takes on the gangsters by herself. During the fight, she drops them to the floor within seconds, using a series of powerful kicks. Watching her fight leaves Ki-chul completely stunned. After everything is over, Ki-chul and the rest of the group return home. His partners are amazed by Aryung's skills, but at the same time, they're also afraid of her because they now realize just how powerful she really is. Her strength leaves everyone speechless, including the people protecting her. That night, Ki-chul and Aryung sit together in the garden, sharing a few drinks. Even though neither of them understands the other's language, Ki-chul starts developing feelings for her, and Aryung also begins enjoying his company. The next morning, everyone sits down together for breakfast. Aryung no longer treats them harshly, and instead starts being kind to everyone. But Young-hee deliberately mistranslates Ki-chul's words to make the others nervous because she's having fun creating confusion. Sometimes the biggest misunderstanding is created by the only translator present. Later, Ki-chul and his partners return to their headquarters, where they discover the rival gang leader has come to admit defeat. Seeing this, Big Boss is so impressed with Ki-chul that he promotes him from the lowest-ranking member of the gang to his own right-hand man. One unexpected victory completely changes Ki-chul's place inside the gang. Meanwhile, we cut back to Hong Kong, where members of the higher gang are still determined to get revenge on Aryung. To eliminate her, they send a team of professional assassins to Korea. At the same time, Aryung and the rest of the group are enjoying themselves in a small town when they suddenly realize someone is following them. At first, everyone assumes the assassins are there to kill Ki-chul, but they soon discover that Aryung has been the real target all along. The assassins launch their attack, forcing all 5 of them to run for cover. During the chase, one of the assassins shoots Aryung, leaving her wounded. The real target was never Ki-chul. It was Aryung from the beginning. Ki-chul somehow manages to get Aryung to safety before calling Big Boss and telling him everything that happened. After that, everyone returns home and starts figuring out how they're going to survive another attack. Before long, they learn the assassins have already reached the area around the house. They quickly split into 2 groups. Ki-chul stays with Aryung, while Yeon-hee leaves with Ki-chul's 2 partners. Meanwhile, the assassins continue chasing Ki-chul and Aryung. Every escape only pushes them deeper into another deadly pursuit. During the chase, the assassin's vehicle crashes into a truck, giving Ki-chul and Aryung the chance to get away. Wanting to keep her safe, Ki-chul takes Aryung to his family's home, believing it's the one place the assassins won't think to look. Sometimes, the safest hiding place is the one nobody expects. When they arrive, Ki-chul's parents immediately assume Aryung is his girlfriend. Because of that, Ki-chul's mother gives him a family necklace and tells him to give it to Aryung as a gift. The 2 of them spend the night there, since they believe the assassins won't find them at his family's house. Meanwhile, back in Hong Kong, Aryung's father is meeting with his highest-ranking gang members when the location is suddenly rocked by a massive explosion, leaving Boss Lim badly injured. Later, Aryung reunites with the others. A short time afterward, she steps outside to call her father. The quiet moment ends the instant the assassins appear again. The assassins suddenly show up, and Aryung immediately attacks them with with a dagger, killing 2 of them. That leaves only the female leader, who turns out to be an exceptionally skilled fighter. The 2 women engage in a fierce sword fight, matching each other's skills blow for blow. Even so, the assassin is stronger and manages to wound Aryung. Thinking quickly, Aryung hides inside a pile of hay. The deadliest move comes from the place no one thinks to check.
The assassin repeatedly drives her sword into the haystack, trying to finish her off. Then, seizing the perfect moment, Aryung strikes from underneath the pile and stabs the assassin in the stomach, killing her. After the battle, Aryung finally learns her mother's location and immediately sets out to find her. The fight ends, but her search for her mother finally begins. When Aryung finally gets there, she discovers that her mother has built a new family and is living happily with them. Because of that, Aryung decides not to meet her. Afraid that reaching out would only destroy her mother's new life, she quietly walks away in tears. Afterward, she decides to return to Hong Kong. Ki-chol tries to stop her, but Aryung ignores him and leaves. Once she arrives in Hong Kong, she goes to see her father, only to learn that he was critically injured in the explosion. Some goodbyes become permanent before a single word is spoken. Boss Lim sees his daughter one last time before passing away. The following day, Ki-chol arrives in Hong Kong to help Aryung. While they're together, he gives her the family necklace his mother wanted her to have. Deeply moved by the gesture, Aryung kisses him. The scene then shifts to the wedding of a member of the rival gang. The rival gang boss, the same man responsible for killing Aryung's father, is also attending the ceremony. Her revenge begins in the last place anyone expects to see it. Disguised as the bride, Aryung joins the wedding and approaches the boss as if she's asking for his blessing. Then, seizing the perfect moment, she suddenly draws her sword and attacks him. One hidden blade instantly turns a wedding into complete chaos. The attack throws the entire wedding into panic. Members of the rival gang immediately prepare to attack Aryung, but before they can reach her, Ki-chol arrives with his men. While dodging a hail of gunfire, Aryung cuts down several gang members. At the same time, the rival gang boss manages to escape. Seeing him flee, Aryung chases after him until both of them end up inside a dark tunnel. There, a group of gang members surrounds her, but Aryung fights back and drops them with a series of powerful kicks. Every obstacle only brings her closer to the man she wants dead. After fighting her way out of the tunnel, she continues searching for the boss. During the pursuit, the boss's right-hand man opens fire on her. Aryung dodges every shot before driving a dagger straight into his chest, killing him instantly. She finally catches up with the wounded boss and attacks him with her swords, but the boss pulls out a handgun and shoots her in the leg. The battle changes the instant the boss reaches for his gun. He points the gun at Aryung's head and starts laughing. Just then, Ki-chol arrives and deliberately draws the boss's attention away from her. Furious, the boss shoots Ki-chol, sending him falling off the building. One sacrifice gives Aryung one final chance to finish everything. At that moment, Aryung reaches the boss and attacks him. She drives her knife into his chest before throwing him off the building. Afterward, she looks for Ki-chol and discovers he's still alive because he landed on top of a garbage truck after falling from the building. The scene then shifts once again, and Aryung is officially named the new boss of the Black Dragon Gang. Meanwhile, Ki-chol is on his way to the airport to leave Hong Kong. The fight is finally over, but one final decision still remains. On the way, Aryung's right-hand man tells her not to let Ki-chol return to Korea. He reminds her that her father made the same mistake when he let her mother go, and he doesn't want Aryung to spend the rest of her life regretting the same choice. Hearing those words, Aryung immediately heads for the airport with her gang members and stops Ki-chol before he can leave. Sometimes, love demands courage greater than any battle ever could. Aryung finally confesses her feelings and asks Ki-chol to stay with her. Without any hesitation, he agrees. The two of them embrace each other, and with that, the story comes to an end. Their war finally ends where a brand new life quietly begins. The story ends here, but ask yourself, if surviving costs you the person you used to be, did you really survive? If stories like this stay with you, subscribe to KTS Mosan. Sometimes people survive the fight, but never escape what it leaves behind.